judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready.
The fight starts now!
Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show.
So aggressive, so focused.
It all comes down to this. Still the undisputed champion of the world. DAZN Weekend Preview.
Riyadh season fight weeks are always interesting. This one, though, has taken a turn on so many different levels. Ben Shalom is with me alongside Sergio Mora, alongside Darren Barker. That might give you a clue as to what we're going to talk about now. Obviously, like Daniel Dubois, a couple of hours ago, was ruled out, basically, of his fight against Joseph Parker. There has been a scramble for which heavyweight would step in the ring with Joseph Parker. In steps Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole, who had a fight scheduled in May against F.A. Jagba. Ben, fill in the gaps for me here now. When did the phone calls come? Was Bakole like, yes, immediately? Did Billy Nelson push back on it?
You know what? I spoke to, as soon as we saw the news, I wasn't sure whether it was one of these, you know, fake news type, let's build the fight type thing, because we've seen that with the Canelo stuff, and I was thinking, what's going on? So I said to the team, would we take it? And they said yes.
Wow.
And I thought, 2 days notice, we got our IBF final eliminator on May the 2nd. So he said yes. And then I was up on the press conference then, and he's calling me saying, you know, the team, Martin's team, saying, go on, let's put it forward. So I got onto His Excellency. I said, we want the fight. And then we just got into it. Meanwhile, I'm up on the stage. The deal was done whilst I was in my chair over there. It was incredible, and fair play to His Excellency, because I didn't think we were going to get it, if I'm honest. And it's an unbelievable, to take it on 2 days notice, it's unbelievable.
That's what I was going to ask. Is there any hesitation from you? Because Martin Bakole right now is the boogeyman. Yep. And look, we both know Martin Bakole, when he gets out of shape, he can get out of shape. But when he's in shape, he's, I think, the most dangerous heavyweight there is. Any reservations or hesitations from you to say, oh, no, we'll just sit this one out and do the F.A. Jagba fight?
Listen, I've always said, if the fighter wants to do something, we're going to support them.
Okay.
And for me, it was all about, is Martin's mind right? Does he want the fight? When he's giving you no hesitation, it's 100%. He's sat up in the Congo thinking, this is it, this is it. And so there's no chance I'm standing in the way of that. And if he's ready, he's ready. And he's coming to win on Saturday night and shock the world.
Ben, have you personally spoke to Martin?
No, I've spoken to Billy, I've spoken to his team. Trust me, Martin is ready to go. This has come straight from Martin. This is not anyone else. This is us putting it out there and Martin being straight on the phone. This is happening.
Darren, let me come to you on this. Yeah. Are you surprised? I mean, we spoke about the options earlier. David Adeleye, Lawrence Okoli. No disrespect to those, they're not Martin Bakole. Are you surprised that Joseph Parker's team said, okay, we'll do this?
100%. He would be the last name of them all that I would pick. And yes, he is getting off the couch. He's enjoying himself, rightly so, not in camp. But this man is a nightmare. How do you train for Martin Bakole? He's so unorthodox. He's so big. He's so powerful. He's a nightmare. And look, yes, Joseph Parker's been in a full camp, but this is what you call a potential banana skin.
I don't get it, because Joseph Parker, I was picking him to beat Daniel Dubois, right? But here's the beauty of matchmaking. Now, I'm not going to choose against Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole, he can be a little bit out of shape. He has the style to be out of shape. He's a big man, big right hand. He has the momentum, knocking out Jared Anderson. That's all you need is a call like this. And to Darren's point, you weren't training for him. So even though he is 6'6", similar size, similar power, it's not the man you were preparing for. Mentally, this is going to be trouble for Joseph Parker.
You know what I have to say, though? I just want to say, because everyone's working with His Excellency, and we talk about the speed of which I'd said we're in on the phone to it going out was incredible. We've never had that in boxing before. I'd literally hung up, and I've just got about 520 WhatsApps saying, I can't believe we're on. He moves like lightning.
No fax machines anymore.
Nothing. It's just done. And only he can do that, in fairness. But I agree with you. I think Joseph Parker, the one thing I would say is I think he's the fittest heavyweight out there. And that's over 12 rounds. Look, it's a phenomenal fight, but Martin coming in so late. Look, if he can pull this off, I think he announces himself right at the top of the heavyweight division.
I mean, if he can pull this off, I mean, he goes straight into a fight with Daniel Dubois, and that's the fight that I've been wanting for ages. Look, there's no bigger fan of Martin Bakole than me. I think I'm a bigger fan than Ben Shalom. I've been beating the Martin Bakole drum for a while, and I'm so happy that he gets this opportunity. He deserves another big one. F.A. Jaguar was a big one, don't get me wrong. His phone's going off, by the way. He's getting WhatsApps all over the place. F.A. Jaguar was a big one, but with the Jared Anderson win, and His Excellency right there seeing that, no wonder he's like, okay, yeah, get Martin Bakole. You can understand why he's picked him.
Who, His Excellency?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best fight. Look, this card was all about 50-50 fights, wasn't it? And that's what I went on Sky to call for it. I was putting pressure on this fight. I said, look, this card is about 50-50 fights. It's about jeopardy. It's about what no one knows how it's going to happen. The only person in the list for me to achieve that outcome was Martin Bakole. I think everyone's taken a risk in this situation. Everyone deserves a lot of credit. We've taken a massive risk. Martin's taken a big risk coming in late. Joseph has. He's asked to adjust, and I've worked with Joseph before. He's a fantastic guy. It's a phenomenal fight. I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait to see Martin.
He can do 100 press-ups right now.
Give him his phone back.
Very quickly, Darren, who wins?
It's a 4-round fight. It's a shootout.
Oh,
If it goes beyond 4 rounds, it's Parker all day long.
Because of the gas tank,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah, 2 days' notice is going to be difficult. Sergio?
Look, man, it's going to be a difficult fight. I see Parker getting hurt. I don't see him having as easy of a time, not easy of a time, as comfortable of a time like he did against Daniel Dubois. This is a different beast. This is a beast from the Congo who got the phone call of a lifetime. I'm going to go Bakole now.
I don't need to ask.
I'm shocking the world. Yeah, I think Bakole does.
Ben, I don't need to ask you who you're going for.
Listen, we're ready.
And I'm going to sit on the fence of this one because I'm the presenter of the show. Ben, I appreciate you coming on short notice. I know you're all over the place. Everyone's wanting you to come, but you came to the zone. Thank you very much. Ben's dropping the mic and Ben's gone. I love it. We have more shocks for you. It wasn't the only shock of the week. I mean, Shakur Stevenson had a bit of an issue with his opponent, Floyd Schofield. With more on that and the rest of the undercard, here's Chris Mannix.
Well, thank you, Adi. So it is a massive week here in Riyadh, one of the biggest boxing cards that we have ever seen. So that means we are bringing out the big guns for this fight. 2 commentary teams. The British commentary team led by the legend Adam Smith, one of the great voices in British boxing history, and the U.S. team led by Todd Grisham.
That's not fair.
Fair enough. You knew that was probably going to come, Todd. Guys, we got to talk about the big story of this week, and that is Floyd Schofield withdrawing from this fight on Wednesday as a result of being hospitalized with some form of illness. There's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of blaming for the reasons for this illness. But Todd, what have you made of all the drama surrounding Floyd Schofield, who is now not in this fight against Shakur Stevenson?
You know, boxing's always kind of been like the wild, wild west of sports. You know this in the NBA. If someone's sick, there has to be an official report sent in by the doctor. You know everything. But you got Floyd Schofield's dad saying that Shakur's team has basically poisoned him through a masseuse using cream. He kind of walked that back, but you're thinking only in boxing. But, Chris, it made me think back, and you'll remember this, the night before the 1998 World Cup final, Ronaldo went to the hospital. Was he poisoned by the French team? Did he have a seizure? No one really knew what happened. He ended up playing. He was a shell of himself. But the great thing about our sport, it's so nuts that they're like, all right, maybe he got poisoned, maybe he didn't. You're out, and there's a new guy in.
Well,
It's so unpredictable, isn't it?
Incredible. It's incredible. Well, he is out of this fight, but Josh Padley is in, which means we are still going to get a 135-pound title fight. Adam, what is remarkable is not the fact that Josh Padley accepted this fight, but the fact that he is on weight and can compete for the 135-pound title.
It's a wonderful, magnificent opportunity for Josh Padley, and dreams happen here. I mean, he's an electrician. I think he was on a job, and he was due to do a job at the weekend. In training, though, of course, actually GBM Sports, so I work with back in Britain, working on a couple of shows and trying to work on a fight, a domestic one for Josh. Suddenly, the opportunity to fight Shakur Stevenson. It doesn't get any bigger or better. It's an enormous step up in levels. But you know what? The Cinderella man, Steve Robinson, won a world title at 48 hours' notice, and I think he had 7, 8, 9 defenses maybe of the title, so you never know in this mad sport. But Josh has got it all to do, but he's here and he's in shape.
Yeah, upset the apple cart back in September when he knocked off Mark Chamberlain. Now he gets an opportunity against Shakur Stevenson. Speaking of opportunities, Todd, we've got Virgil Ortiz and Israel Madrimov in a terrific fight at 154 pounds. Virgil, a well-known guy to us over in the U.S. Israel Madrimov, very competitive against Terrence Crawford last time out. What do you think of this matchup?
Well, I'm excited to just see how good Virgil Ortiz Jr. is. I mean, this is the first, premier elite level fighter that he's faced. He's blown through pretty much everybody. Of course, he had a tough time with Boachuk in his last fight. But can you imagine if Virgil Ortiz beats Madrimov and beats him more profoundly than perhaps Terrence Crawford did? Are we going to call for Virgil Ortiz versus Canelo now? I mean, This is a chance for Virgil Ortiz to enter the superstardom level that Oscar and everybody at Golden Boy seems to believe he's capable of doing.
I really like Virgil Ortiz Jr. Reminds me of Marco Antonio Barrera. Eric Morales has something about him. His power, his dynamism, his excitement as well in a ring. Almost everyone has been knocked out. But Madrimov, it's a great fight. I think it could steal this enormous show.
Now, speaking of great fights, we've got a great one in the opener. A fight that could headline in the UK by itself. Callum Smith, former world champion, 168 pounds. Joshua Buatsi, Olympic bronze medalist, a very talented guy, still looking for that first world title. They're going to open this show on Saturday. You've seen a lot of these guys, Adam, over the years. What do you think of this matchup?
Opening the show, it could sell out any arena in Britain. Callum Smith still hoping to become a two-weight champion. He's proven. I mean, he won the Super Series here, what, 6-7 years ago? A long time ago, 34 now. But what about Joshua Buatsi? This is the acid test. I thought he was really good against Willie Hutchinson, especially with those body shots, but he's got to do it against Mundo. The word is Smith is in phenomenal shape, but Buatsi could just be the timing for him, and he could be a bit special, I think, Buatsi.
Yeah, Todd, we got a great one, too, in the heavyweight division. Zheli Zhang, heavyweight knockout artist, 41 years old. He is back going up against a guy who has taken advantage of Riyadh seas as much as anyone. Agit Kabayel, heavyweight contender. These two guys, both with power, both with energy. What do you think of this one?
Well, I think it's going to look a lot like the Joseph Parker fight against Zheli Zhang. I mean, similar style somewhat between Kabayel and Parker. But I think what Zhang has done, he's kind of taken the mantle from Deontay Wilder with the hardest punch in all of boxing. We used to revere what Deontay Wilder could do, but I think you saw with Parker and you saw against Joe Joyce, if Zheli Zhang touches you with that straight left hand, you're going down. So can Kabayel avoid that? That's the key.
Kabayel's movement as well, wonderful. I think he's a really underrated fighter, undefeated. I think he could just beat Zhang.
Good one in the middleweight division as well. You've got Hamza Shiraz, one of the most exciting guys at 160 pounds. Kind of a miracle he makes 160 pounds. The guy is huge. He's taller than me out there, and he's making 160 for these fights. He goes up against Carlos Adames, someone who's been fighting in the U.S. for a long time, title holder at 160. This is Hamza's big opportunity against a veteran, experienced guy.
A good fighter, Carlos Adames, and come up through the weights, but Shiraz is going to be so much bigger and stronger than him. And it is the big question. Like Buatsi, it's another fantastic opportunity and a test for Hamza Shiraz. Ambassador for Riyadh season, talks beautifully out of the ring, and he's fantastic to watch inside it. But it is a big step up for Shiraz in fight number 22. He's undefeated. Is this the chance to become a world champion Saturday night? I think it could be, but Adames is not going to be easy.
Hey, Hamza Shiraz, I think, got some invaluable experience against Ammo Williams when he was clocked in the earlier round. He was in real trouble trying to find himself. I think Adames is going to catch him with an overhand right at least once or twice in this fight. And the fact that he's faced at least that little sliver of adversity could prove to be a big point.
Let me tell you something. Adames is coming into this fight wildly confident. Told me earlier in the week he's going to decapitate Hamza Shiraz. So he's coming in ready to defend this world title. Well, wherever you watch it, you got a couple of great options here. The British team, the U.S. team. We're going to have a Barry Jones mute button. We're going to have a Sergio Mora mute button. We're going to be good to go on Saturday night. Guys, we'll throw it back to you.
All right, let's talk about a fight that stays intact. No changes here. Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. Look, we've seen them all week. Both of them seem composed. Both of them say there's more left, right? Both of them said, which is very interesting, Darren, that they didn't give 100% in their last fight. How do you see this one playing out?
Look, they strive for perfection as well. So you can see there's a little bit of disappointment from that first fight where they believe they can both do better. And that's so exciting for us as boxing fans, knowing that if these two go in 100%, we're just going to get a better fight. We've said round 13 all along. Look, again, it remains Bull versus Matador. I have said all along I felt Beterbiev could do more out of the two. He could be the busier. He could get in front of Bivol and put more of a dent in Bivol, who did fade in those later rounds. But we've heard again, the perfectionist that is Bivol saying, I could have done a bit better. I'm going to be more active. I'm going to let more shots go. But in doing that, it's so dangerous. What a fight.
Sergio, you know what's crazy? Obviously, we had Oscar De La Hoya at the press conference come on to the studio, and he picks Bivol. You pick Bivol. You pick Bivol. Every single fighter is picking Bivol. Am I missing something? I'm the non-fighter here. What's going on? Why is every fighter saying Bivol?
Because fighters aren't intimidated by power or size or intimidation. We know how to move. We know how to use our jab. We know how to use intelligence. So notice it's the fighters, the boxers that are accustomed to being in the sweet science, who aren't afraid of that. So that's the reason they're able to pick a guy like Joseph Parker and say, no, he's going to be able to adapt. They can choose Madrimov against a guy and a killer like Virgil Ortiz Jr. That doesn't intimidate us. So yeah, I'm with Darren, and I just think it's going to be one of those fights where styles make fights, and what we think, I think it's going to be the favorite.
That might be a case that you may look at the two, and ever so slightly, Dmitry Bivol just has more strings to his bow. Do you know what I mean? A bit quicker with the feet, a bit quicker with the hands. Obviously not as powerful, and you know, you might look at that.
Are we underestimating Beterbiev's skills here? Because I've seen everyone do that, where they're picking Bivol's strengths, and Bivol has way more strengths than Beterbiev, but yet Beterbiev won the first fight. Are we underestimating what Beterbiev can do? Again, this is a guy that had over 200 amateur fights, won most of those as well. He can box as well, no? It's not just boxer versus puncher, is it?
No, Beterbiev has excellent feet. He has an amateur pedigree. I mean, he was an Olympian. Of course, we get enamored with power, and we start thinking, oh, this guy's just a monster. He's a beast. He's a boogeyman. But he also is a high IQ chess player in there. But Bivol is just totally different. Yes, they have different style of footwork. Bivol does it more obvious. You know, jumps up and down. You know, he knows how to get on the inside. His high percentage is power punching 50%. Beterbiev relies on volume. He'll touch you anywhere, and if he can hit you just with a glancing shot, he can hurt you. Two different types of boxers. That's what's so beautiful about this.
Okay, on Monday, I asked you, Bivol. Tuesday, I asked you, Bivol. Wednesday, Bivol. Thursday, Bivol. Friday, Bivol. Bivol.
51% Bivol.
51-49. Okay.
Bivol. I haven't changed. Yep.
Oh, that was firm. That was firm as well. All right. Here we are. Another great week from Riyadh. Another great fight card. Here is the updated fight cards. Ziad Al-Mayouf will take on Jonatas de Oliveira. Muhammad Alakel will take on Engel Gomez. Joshua Boatsi versus Callum Smith. Zhili Zhang versus Agit Kabia. As you were, that fight card, this one now has changed quite a lot. Virgil Ortiz Jr. will take on Israel Madrimov. Carlos Adames will take on Hamza Sherez. This is the first of the changes. Shakur Stevenson will take on the late notice replacement, Josh Padley. Joseph Parker, credit to you, sir, will take on the most dangerous heavyweight, I think, alive, Martin Bakole. And Artur Beterbiev will take on Dmitry Bivol for everything at 175 pounds. Wow. Fantastic fight card, fantastic lineup as well. We're going to be joined by a few superstars, a few surprise names. So make sure you join us on Saturday. Go to DAZN.com/boxing to buy the pay-per-view. Do not miss this one, because the replacements might have made this fight card even better. We'll see you Saturday.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we gather to witness an epic rivalry between two titans, where the stage transforms into a battlefield. Let the spectacle begin!
Pressure of Beterbiev. People saying, all right, I gave you a chance. Now this is my chance. Ooh, nice counter, right, left from Bivol, and he sent Beterbiev walking backwards, and now he's on the front foot. Combination punching.
empty.
I did not go today.
That the result is fair.
I think Beterbiev was lucky.
Someone was hitting him.
This judge should never.
For the last crescendo